one. Whoa! I'm using that.
Ugh.
I'm using that so we're live. We're gonna 3, 2, 1. We're keeping it all in there.
5, 4, 3. A little bit of Wayne's World, right? Um,
Yeah, we kind of hit
welcome
that shit
to
insane. That shit was kind of dope.
welcome to the Legends Clubhouse on this Black Friday. Um, I am Mr. Sale himself, Bobby Kaboose. As always, through that screen, through that camera, into that god awful room is Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
Bro, I'm sure we'll get into Thanksgiving talk, but I don't know how much leftovers you took home. But dude, I felt like I brought home enough takeover. I brought home enough leftovers to feed like the whole East Coast. Like dude,
Yeah.
there's like dude. Last night I just wanted a bite of something, so I opened the fridge and there was like 78 containers and they're all like covered, so I can't see what's in it. And I'm like, I'm not finna go through all these boxes to see what's what right now. I just wanted to bite of something,
So
so I grabbed the first thing, and it wasn't obvious. It wasn't what I wanted, so I'm like, "Fuck this! I'll do it. I'll do it later."
Yeah, so as far as how many leftovers
Yeah.
we brought a whole whopping 0 um home. Yeah, I did bring plenty of food for my dad last night
Yeah.
from the girlfriend's parents' house. After dinner I drove back home, dropped it off and then went back after I dropped it off. But
Mm.
um dude, it's a very Black Friday today. That's why I'm wearing all black. And the Lions frickin' blow. I had some good food yesterday.
Mm.
Had an amazing breakfast this morning. Dude, we had to. I felt like Mr. McAllister in Home Alone 1 when they're running through the freaking airport um, to get here on
Yeah.
time. Run, run, Rudolph. Santa's got to make his way down the freeway or something, whatever the fuck that song goes. But
Mm.
but we're here. I literally walked into the door into the house. I think 7 minutes ago.
Nice.
Set up the laptop. Had to plug it in. Had to ask the girlfriend to go get me water. Had to set up the room so I don't have this deep glare into my room. Even I look like a ghost.
I was gonna say the term you
Um,
used is ghostly. I think.
Yeah, I look like a ghost. Had to turn on the light. I got one of those fancy Govee lights, so I had to switch the light from green to regular light.
Mm.
And I still don't have pants on.
So
I have shorts on.
I was
I
about to
have shorts.
say you're out here Winnie the Pooh bearing it right now, dude.
No,
Just
I'm not
shirt.
Pooh Bearing it.
I was
I
I was about to say
am not
that.
Pooh Bearing
I was
it.
gonna say.
But I am I show like so I was looking I looked nice yesterday for dinner
Mm.
um at the girlfriend's house. When I brought the food back to my dad and went back, I was in basketball shorts and a hoodie. So
Nice.
and I for some reason I just didn't feel like putting pants on yesterday when I
Mm.
left. And it's like you mentioned the weather. You're in the zone of the weather that you like in Georgia,
It's
which
nice
is
and
like
cold.
mid 40s, right?
Yeah.
Well, here up in the great state of Michigan, we are at 31 around Detroit. So
Everything's
it is a
starting to
little.
freeze.
We are expecting, I guess, some snow tomorrow. Northern
Mm.
Michigan has already gotten like 6 to 12 inches.
Snowball fights
Um,
tomorrow?
Dude, if there's any on the ground, you can guarantee that the woman laying in my bed right next to me is getting thrown in that fucking powder. Um, but we might be going to do some Black Friday shopping this afternoon.
Mm.
Not really sure. Where we're gonna go. We have one place in mind, and might go to a couple other places. But already done some shopping this morning, online.
Mm. That's
You
awesome.
know, and now I'm here.
And
I'm tired.
and now we're here. The I mean, since you brought up the Lions, I mean, I guess we can dive into the first game. I do you know, is your team? Would you like to start, or would you like me to go and then you pick up where I left off, or if there's anything left on the bone for me to grab afterwards, the floor is yours.
Go ahead, man. I'm a little disappointed today. I said on Wednesday that I thought the Packers were going to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
There's something wrong off about the Lions, but you tell me from an outsider's because my heart is invested in this team. So I need to
You
we
need to hear
so perfect example.
go ahead.
Perfect example. Last night, after dinner, we were decorating the tree over the girlfriend's house,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you just got to step back and look at the sections with the holes that you need to fill with an ornament. So
Yeah.
sometimes you can't see it when you're decorating it. So please be my guest and talk to me about the team that I adore the most.
The biggest issue was not falling down 10-0. It was not Amon-Ra St. Brown's injury. Um, two of the biggest 2 minutes per se, 4 minutes total, 2 minutes in general, in my opinion, two of the top three, most important 2 minutes, other than the last 2 minutes. The last 2 minutes of the first half and the first 2 minutes of the second half.
I
And
don't think you've ever said 2 minutes so many times in a 2 minute span than you just did right now. So I appreciate that as well.
you're welcome. Anyways, the last 2 minutes of the first half was excellent. It was exactly what the doctor ordered. You guys have been chasing the entirety of the game, and you cut it to it was what, a 17-14 game at half after just a beautiful drive touchdown with, I think it was 30 seconds left, maybe 16.
Mm. There's 25 seconds left, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, Green Bay, went incompletion, kneel down halftime, and Detroit's working their way there. I know they were around midfield. I don't know if they had crossed the 50, but I know they were somewhere around it. And on fourth and what was it? Fourth and three, fourth and two.
Mhm.
I don't
Fourth and,
know if it
which
was
fourth and three are you talking about?
the
There was a couple of fourth and threes.
I'm talking
Um,
about the one on the first drive outside, on the first drive of the second half, where you guys get the ball, work your way to midfield. There's a fourth and three, and you guys decide to run the ball.
yeah, okay.
Which,
This is I heard this on the radio. So we left my brother's house.
mm-hmm,
I tried to time it. It was about a 35-minute drive
yeah,
probably to the girlfriend's house from my brother's house. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe 40 minutes. Um so I tried to play. I wanted to leave at the 2 minute warning. We got caught up talking and bullshit, and so we left
right,
with about 25 seconds left. We knew there was gonna be a long halftime show, so I was like, okay, we can get there. Excuse me.
mm-hmm,
When the game resumes, I heard that on the radio that they literally just got stuffed, and like basically everyone in the building, including the Green Bay Packers, including probably everyone in the state of Wisconsin, knew what was going to happen, and it was with Jameer Gibbs, I believe.
yeah,
With again, I love Gibbs, but I think you need like if you're gonna run something like that, I think you go with Montgomery. He's more the ground and pound and can get you those extra yards after being hit.
mm-hmm,
Unlike Gibbs, which uses his speed over smash mouth football.
right.
But yeah, go
Like
ahead.
that whole, you pick up the initial first down. And then it goes 4 yard rush, 4 yard rush, so it's third and two. You lose a yard running the ball with Jameer Gibbs, so that sets up the fourth and three. And once again, a lot of my beliefs all in terms of football is call players, not plays, in those big moments. And I understand wanting to get the ball in at the time your best player's hand, maybe the best player on your team, depending upon obviously the best offensive player with Amon-Ra going down.
Hmm.
But I just knew Jared Goff was going to drop back. He was going to have uh, uh, 2-3 seconds and deliver an accurate ball and to keep the momentum going. And then two plays later, Jordan Love he hits Christian Watson inside for the 51-yard touchdown, and it's like it sucked the air right out of the building.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I missed the majority of the third quarter,
Yeah,
because even
just
the
traveling.
girlfriend's parents were getting frustrated with the Lions, so they turned it off for a minute, and I was like, no, I need to watch this. But no, but then they suggested, like, oh, just, if you want to go in the other room and watch and, go in and out or whatever. I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, that's fine. So I was able to watch the fourth quarter and a little bit of the last of the third. You know, Dan Campbell is probably the best Lions coach they've ever had, right? And it's not. It's like I think Dan Campbell's a great coach. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's like the Stafford thing. Like, Stafford was mediocre here, yet he was considered the best quarterback the Lions ever had
Hmm.
because they haven't had anyone, right? So, um, I love the aggressiveness of Dan Campbell. You live and die by it. But there was one moment in the game where his aggressiveness got the best of him,
Yeah.
and I think it could have turned the entire game around, or at least swung some kind of momentum into the Lions' favor.
Hmm.
And it's when he did not go for the field goal down 10
Yeah, in the
in the
fourth
fourth
quarter.
quarter. You essentially cut it down to a one score lead.
Hmm.
They got the ball back almost right away. I think Green Bay went like a 3-and-out or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. And so you get the ball back, and then you're able to tie the game with a touchdown.
Hmm.
With not kicking that field goal, you're still down by 10. That's a wasted possession. I mean, they ended up kicking a field goal the next possession, so it's not like, that, maybe they would have changed their offensive mindset the second time,
Hmm.
and been able to go for it. But even if you score both the touchdowns, you're still then down four, and a touchdown wins it for you.
Right.
You're not going to win a game by, or you're not going to win most games by, settling for field goals.
Hmm.
But you like, I thought that was the biggest boneheaded play, or not play, but
Like
I
decision.
mean, if Jamison Williams or Goff would have threw a better pass, or if he would have caught that catch, we're not talking about this, right?
No.
But since that happened, I mean, it's easy to be like, oh yeah, in hindsight. But like, even before they ran the play, I'm like, why aren't they kicking the field goal? Like,
Hmm.
cut it down to 7. Like, rely on your defense, get a stop, go down the field and score again, and then you tie the game up. So,
Right.
as soon as they, missed that fourth down, I'm like, well, this game's over. And to even have a chance with Green Bay with what, 4th and 3, and that dude making like an unbelievable catch to seal the
with
game.
with one shoe on because it fell
Yeah.
off mid catch. Like me and my buddy when we were, he played receiver like in high school and stuff. So it's he always likes a tee where it's like that's why you catch things with like for the Jamison Williams drop. Even if you want to call it a drop, I think that it's a mix of Jameson trying to, turn his body to catch the ball that was slightly behind him, and Goff could have let it more out in front. But still, we were like, damn, that's a tough play, but the ball and the play is still there to be made. That Dontavian Wicks catch, I said about 5 seconds before they even snapped the ball, I was like, I would be shocked if they didn't, take a delay because I thought they were going to take a delay beforehand. But then when Matt LaFleur called a timeout, I was like, okay, you call a timeout, you try and get him to jump, then you take your delay, and before you even took the timeout, when they were trying to get him to jump off sides the first time, my thought process
Mhm.
was, okay, you move the first down marker back 5 yards, but well, the line of scrimmage back 5 yards, but you give your punter more room so he doesn't try to do like a pooch kick because pooch kicks are very, very difficult to do. And try angle them whether to
Mhm.
put backspin on punts and things like that. I was so surprised that they snapped the 4th and 3, and not only that, it was a fantastic play by the defender.
Yeah.
Like it was almost perfect coverage. He was in position,
Mhm.
and it just
Well,
He,
did you see it was the touchdown before half for Green Bay. Did you see
the fall.
Brian Branch stop? Like he
Yeah,
stopped I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like
yeah.
my entire family was like even my how old is she? How old is Haley? 13? My 13-year-old niece, she's like, why did that guy just stop running?
Mhm.
Like everyone almost like I don't know. And then for the fact that okay, we had Tom Brady and who was
Kurt
it Dean
Benhart.
Ben? Okay, so my my brother made a point. He's like,
Mhm.
why the fuck do they have Tom Brady? Because obviously, some of the parts they have to be reading off like a teleprompter, right, or whatever. They're like, why the fuck in analyzing this game or color commentary or whatever position Brady is in? Why
Yeah,
the fuck is the best quarterback of all time asking Dean Bendito or whatever the fuck his name
yeah. Dean
is
Blandino.
about rules and if that's a catch? Like
Because
no
I
one
had.
knows the game better than Brady. Like even my brother made a point.
Uh,
Like this Bendito dude didn't go to college for NFL rules. Like how do you get like who gives a fuck, dude? Like
yeah,
we all sit on camera and then you make Brady look like an idiot by asking this dude. Just like I went on that rant about fucking Mike Pereira and these dudes coming like mansplaining football for us. We don't
yeah.
need any of these bums, dude. Like you're telling me that Brady doesn't know that and Brady has to ask him like, well, why was it called a touchdown? Look at the fucking screen, dude.
One of the interesting things, and it's been growing up, in the era of football that I watched. For the long time, it was a catch. Then there was the Calvin play that I'm sure you
Yeah.
remember against the Bears.
Very,
If I remember, it was
very
the Bears.
Bears first game of the season.
Yep. And that started the catch no catch thing, and then there was
Yeah.
the Dez dropped it game catch no catch, and then the following year Larry Fitzgerald had a catch in the postseason where he like caught it, took 2 feet, extended, and then didn't survive the ground, but it was ruled a catch because he
Yeah.
made a football move, and it will always trickle down to the what is a catch, because there are many a times where even some of your more seasoned veteran viewers are like, catch, no catch, surviving the ground. At what point is a catch a
Yeah.
catch? And I didn't even think about that. Where it's like, yeah, it'd be different if you had your play-by-play guy who's next to Brady ask, but the fact
Yeah.
that Brady is asking Blandino what's a catch, it's like he's
Yeah.
he's the best. He is Mr. NFL, and
You
you're
you know what they should do?
yeah.
They should get like, someone, no offense to like West Virginia, but like get someone who is like super inbred, dumb as shit, and they'll ask them and be like, "Hey, is that a catch?" And if this motherfucker looks at the screen and he's like, "Yeah, why wouldn't that be a catch?" Then it's a fucking catch. Like, we you went through like the Calvin stuff, and like I remember they would slow the camera down per pixel, and
Yeah.
yeah, if you slow anything down, you're gonna see ball movement, or you're gonna see this and that, dude. Get some crystal meth head to fucking look at a screen that he may be like 5 or 6 generations of inbreeding. He looks like one of those elves from the Family Guy special, Christmas special that are eating the reindeers and shit, or the reindeers are eating them, and ask them the ruling on the play, and the dumbest motherfucker on the earth could be like, yeah, that's a catch. And you go with it because you know what? It probably is a catch or it probably is the right ruling. We don't need these dudes fucking coming up, especially a Hall of Fame greatest player of all. That's like Michael Jordan asking like Adam Silver, like, oh,
What's a
if you
travel?
yeah, well, yeah. Is that or if you shoot, when you shoot it past the half court and make it, is that worth more points? Like what?
Or
Like fuck out of
yeah,
here.
it's that's such a good thing, the good point that I didn't even think about. Like, why is Brady asking referees like football like of official
Good.
ruling questions? Because like when media comes out about how much Tom Brady would work out in the offseason with his receivers to learn their body weight and
Mhm.
how they, it's like this dude is in depth as to, catch, no, I'm sure catch, no catch, body control, movement, rules, XYZ. I mean, hell, he was paired with Belichick, and you can't tell me that no one knew the rules and how to
Right.
find loopholes than
Yeah.
Belichick. I never. Once again, when I was watching, I didn't even know about the drop punt, about the drop ball kickoff thing until New England did it, like the early 2000s. I was like, that's weird. And then it's like
Right.
this is the first time since 1848 or whenever that anyone's did like the drop punt kickoff, and I'm like, fuck it, this guy just knows. He just
Yeah. And
knows.
And the thing is like again, like it's not the play-by-play guy asking Brady. And do you know what's the dude's name? Blandino?
Are you talking about the dude who the official?
The other Mike Pereira, Dean
Yes, Dean Blandino.
Blandino.
Yes, Dean Blandino. Yeah,
Okay, so I'm saying it correctly
yeah.
because I was calling Bendino, but Blandino. Okay,
The
um,
great Bambino.
yeah. What is his background? Was he an official? Was he a referee?
I think he was an official.
Okay, because like my brother made a point, like you don't go to college to fucking be like what background does this fucking dude? What credentials does this guy have? Like even
Right.
Mike Pereira, I know he was a referee and he's like the head of referees or whatever the fuck, but like
Mhm.
still like like you or I can't go to school for this. You don't go to fucking school to be a footballologist or whatever they're gonna call you, pigskinologist. We're gonna call it that. And you know, I don't care. We've gone through this rant before. I don't care about these fucking dudes. I already get pissed because they bring in too many athletes to do these commentaries. Brady's okay, but like if you have Brady or if you have a guy that's been in the league for so many years and was on top of their game, why isn't he explaining what's going on and what he actually played? Like,
Mhm. Like
you know,
how, example, like when Tony Romo's first year, when he was doing it, and he was calling out, okay, this is probably a run to the right, a run to the left. Okay, they're gonna go play action pass. It's gonna be a screen, you know, or things in that of that nature. Or like example, I don't know how often your team's the NFC, so CBS has the AFC for the most.
yeah,
Uh, and on the B team, it's JJ Watt and Ian Eagle. And JJ Watt does a lot of in depth for like a defensive perspective, and does
mhm,
okay on the offensive side because once again, that's his specialties.
right,
You're asking Brady an offensive question. Like that's kind
hmm
of now. Once again, you could probably ask Brady an offense defensive, question, and he has more information in his pinky nail than me, you, and your other 15 football dudes up the street have put together. But yeah,
right,
that's a really interesting point that once again I never thought about, like why if you're gonna have anybody ask the head of officiating or rules expert that they bring in, don't don't let it be your color guy. Don't.
yeah. And too, what I was gonna bring up is, I would almost rather have like two just entertaining motherfuckers. I get John Madden was a coach and he was a player, and Pat Summerall was a player at one point. But they were entertaining. Like Al Michaels, I don't think
Extremely.
has ever played anything, but he's a good broadcaster.
Yeah.
What I would like them to see, or what I'd like to see is instead of bringing in former players to be, either color commentary or play by play, what they should do is have one knowledgeable guy that knows, can do the play by play, a color guy who is not an athlete, who's just an entertaining person.
Hmm.
Put fucking Snoop Dogg in there. He's fucking entertaining enough.
Have you
And
seen him do play-by-play for hockey?
I've seen him do not necessarily hockey, but like boxing and other shit, and like just
Baseball. Yeah, he
National
he's
Geographic shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's great.
Um, give me a guy that knows his shit by the play by play. Give me an entertaining motherfucker to color, And then instead of a Mike Pereira, instead of a Blandino, or even instead of like an Aaron Andrews, you can have the sideline people or whatever, but make like Brady and these guys Romo, Watt, name your ex NFL player that is in there. Make them a third guy where you can specifically ask them questions. Like, with that Green Bay touchdown in the first half, they could have went to Tom Brady and been like, "Hey, what did you see on this play?" And him not being in the entirety of the broadcast, like have him like ask him like five questions throughout the game, and that's it. That's what I would rather see because, like, dude, like I don't want to like if I want to hear ex athletes talk about sports, I'll put on Sports Center for fucking 8 hours a day. Like I don't need to hear that anymore. Like I want to hear entertaining people. You can go get numbers
Mm.
anywhere. Like we say, like, a bunch of people do do shows like we do, right?
Yeah.
But there's only one Stephen A. Smith. There's only one Bobby Caboose, and you're the numbers guy, Lawson Turner, and you bring entertainment too. So it's like we have a good dynamic here because neither of us played fucking professional sports. Yeah, maybe someone doesn't give a fuck about our opinion or what we have to say, and that's fine. But at least we can entertain fucking people. Like when I'm like
Mhm.
at that point, like when you know how many people that I know that when Joe Buck is doing a game, they either mute it and put on the radio or like, whatever. Like they just don't want to listen to him. Like it's like, it's shit like that. Like there's so many games, like most sports games, I don't need to hear what's going on. Like I used to have like a 3 TV setup at my house,
Yeah.
and the main TV would be something I want to watch. The upper left would be a game that I want to watch with the volume off, and the other TV would probably be my video games. But I
Yeah.
don't need to hear the shit, like if there's something happening where there was a flag or something, maybe I need to hear like, but you still get the hand signals and shit for,
Mhm.
our deaf folk out there.
Like you're roughing the passer or your
Yeah,
false start,
like
your
that.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a certain amount of time, and I get why, or some of it, why they have like a Mike Pereira to explain to the casual fan.
Yeah.
But how many actual casual fans are there? How many casual fans like care about Mike Pereira's little input? Like you're just watching the game, dude. Like at
Mhm.
that point, like if you're that much of a casual fan that you don't really you don't need him explaining shit to you,
Right.
right? When my girlfriend has a question about sports, I answer it. She doesn't need Mike Pereira coming on and be like, baby girl, when an offensive player pushes a defensive player after 5 yards, that's a penalty. Like, fuck out of
Yeah.
here, man. Stop
There's.
mansplaining shit. Oh, the
Eh,
football is an oblong shape. It's
oh,
unlike any other ball in sports.
and,
Thanks, buddy.
and we didn't even talk about, and this happened in a later game that we'll talk to, when they make a call on the field and it is one thing, and then about 5-10 minutes later they come in, the head of officiating come in and say, yeah, when we were overlooking, I don't think that was that. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
fuck me then.
And you know what? Not only does that, I mean, we've already talked about
Yeah,
this, right?
yeah,
In
yeah,
our
100%.
show.
Yeah, yeah.
But so not only does that discredit the refs that are on the field, but it also takes out any kind of human element. Like it's like, okay, dude, like
It's
sports,
like
like
umps. It's
how
like umpires.
100%. It's like, okay, dude, like, if you just want some robotic shit that makes every call fucking perfect, then fucking go play Minecraft or something. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
go put your Oculus on, go to Player Red or Ready Player One, live in a fucking fantasy world with or start creating your iRobot fucking army and take out human civilization because sports should have the fucking human element in it. And once you tell me something that I didn't need to know if it was the right call or not, I could have been like, oh, that referee made a bad call on my own. I don't need to have someone else tell me that that was a bad call. Let me
Yeah.
make my own opinion about it.
And
Sorry.
it's no, you're good. I also thought you were gonna get into the false start that wasn't called, that
Yeah.
LaFleur got the timeout in, and it's even more
No,
funny because they they asked Matt LaFleur after the game if he got the timeout off, and he said, "Of course." He said, "Of course I did," and then winked, and he was like, "Of course the officials got it right." It's like, well, no shit. He
Right.
even winked
But-
about it. It's like, cause yeah, from the sideline he got it off late. So
Right.
that whole
And
5 minute window.
someone,
Good.
sorry to cut you off, but
Nah, yeah.
it was somebody on the broadcast was like, "Yeah, they threw the flag before the timeout," and you're like, "What?" Like
So why are we
they
picking it up?
pissed me off even more.
Yeah, dude. It was that whole first game was kind of funky, and then even so, you guys still had two fumbles that you didn't pick up. Like there was
Mhm.
the one on the there was one, I want to say it was in the first half. They were driving. Uh, Love hit Dontavian Wicks around like the 8, and then he got popped and it bounced to a lineman. And then there was another
Mhm.
one late in the fourth quarter where it was along the sideline, and y'all didn't pick it up. But you know, I don't want to I don't want to say that to discredit, because I thought Jordan Love was great yesterday.
Mhm.
Like,
I
despite
mean, yeah,
from a
like
statistical standpoint, two. I think he had like 230 yards, 4 TDs. I think it's the third or fourth game that he's had in his career with 4 passing touchdowns. Which, once again, that's a fantastic performance. But from a viewership standpoint, there was still an there was a amplified eyes. There were This game was amplified due to the Thanksgiving game. So anything good,
mhm.
bad, or indifferent was going to be magnified, from the false
Right.
start to the big fourth down conversion that ended the game.
Yeah, and we're here in Detroit, we're used to losing on Thanksgiving, so it's all it doesn't. Luckily we just get a good meal afterwards, and you
Right.
know, we can celebrate some other way. But I didn't get to watch. I watched a little bit of the Dallas game. I didn't watch any of the late night game,
Hmm.
which looked like I looked at the score today, and it seemed like a blowout for the Bengals. So the Ravens and the Chiefs, man. I like I said, like I didn't watch much of it, so I can't
Hmm.
really break it down.
Yeah.
But it seems like the two teams that have been the best in the AFC for close to a decade now, um,
Did.
are struggling.
And there.
Yes, Pete.
Huh?
She like so the girlfriend is laying down, right?
Yeah.
And she just did like an Undertaker sit up, and I was expecting her to just look at me like how like he did with like Brock Lesnar.
With his eyes rolled back.
Yeah, so I'm not really. And then
That's
now
funny.
she's jungle gymming out of the room.
Nice. No, though, but for going into the Cowboys game, I was like, both teams obviously need it. The Chiefs could afford a loss, but the thing is, all the teams they're chasing, they don't have the tiebreakers over. And Mahomes, from a statistical standpoint, was excellent. 260 passing, 4 TDs, no picks, and Dak. If I remember correctly, it was either his second or third pass of the game. I know it was like the first third down of the game. Dak throws a pick, and then Chiefs score 2 plays later, bang, up 7-0. After that, Dak was excellent, and for a DB in Trent McDuffie for the Chiefs, that's been excellent since being drafted, and since he's been a full time starter. CeeDee Lamb was all over him all day long. I think he not only did CeeDee Lamb catch 7 for 112 and a touchdown, I think he also drew like 3 PIs just on McDuffie. I know the Chiefs penalty yards wise, they had their most since 20. I think it was like 2018, 2019. They had 119 penalty yards, which is just ridiculous. But this team, being the Chiefs, they haven't been able to generate any kind of pass rush all year long without sending extra guys. And for as much as I say, do they have 15 in red? They're going to be just fine.
Hmm.
Well, Mahomes, who's a big game quarterback, if you were to say Super Bowls tomorrow, name one quarterback in the pantheon of NFL history that you want for a singular game outside of Tom Brady, because I'm sure it would be like 85-15% of like a pie chart. 15% would be a mix of like, who, depending upon who you ask, some people, say, like Prime Rogers, Mahomes, whatever, but the majority would say Brady. If you take Brady out of the equation for a big game,
Yeah.
I want Mahomes, and Mahomes was, once again, he was excellent, and there was even a play late, like they trailed by 10 almost the entire fourth quarter. Um, there was a play where I was like, this is where they're gonna pull something out of their ass. Mahomes just got lit up for a sack on first down. It was second and 18, second and 16, somewhere around there. And by that time, I had gotten home and I was, hanging out with some friends, and we were watching the game. And he was like, "Damn, it doesn't look like Mahomes got like the Mahomes magic anymore because he just got rocked and they're not looking good." And then Mahomes does sit in the pocket, break a sack, almost get sacked, stay on his feet, break another sack, and just one of those classic. Oh, Mahomes genuinely just pulls something out of nothing and hucks it 40 yards down the
Yeah.
field. And of course, Xavier Worthy is wide ass open, and they end up scoring a touchdown on that drive. But the Chiefs' defense, for as good statistically as it is, they're top five in a plethora of important categories. The Cowboys' top two receivers, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, they're a genuine problem, and I don't think
No,
like
why would a team get rid of George Pickens? It just baffles me, man.
I could genuinely like spend 20 minutes as to it. George Pickens would not have
You
been
know
doing, huh?
that combination with DK Metcalf should have been the one that he's having with CeeDee Lamb.
Dude, I genuinely thought when we traded for DK, I was like, I'm interested to see how this looks because you have two physical freaks, and what's even more funny is the memes are coming out where, oh, there's gonna be a 5 yard run, but DK is gonna be on one side and George Pickens is gonna be on the other, and they're gonna be like suplexing and RKO and DBs just because
Yeah.
for the majority of their career they've been known as like hot heads with like
Mhm.
short fuses, high tempers. But
Yeah.
that was the first game, and maybe I should have seen this coming from week one in Brazil against the Chargers, where it's a big game and Mahomes not, I wouldn't say Dak outplayed him, but every play Dallas needed to make late, and Mahomes did the same thing too, where it was, oh, I got to get this second 19, I got to score a touchdown here, fourth and goal, you got to do this, X, Y, Z, where Dak was just excellent, and Dak's numbers raised dramatically at home than on the road. But like example, I'm gonna read you the play-by-play of after they scored a touchdown to cut it to a 3-point game. There is 3:27 to go. 2 yard rush. Chiefs burn timeout, which to me was kind of wasting it burning it that early. I understand wanting to maximize time, but it just felt a little funky to me.
Yeah.
Then they, as in Dallas, try to not force the ball to George Pickens, but George Pickens runs like a slant, and a 4 yard defensive pass interference, automatic first down. They stopped Javonte Williams to a gain of 1, second timeout. Kansas City. CeeDee Lamb on my bad, Trent McDuffie on CeeDee Lamb, 13-yard pass interference, automatic first down. 7-yard rush, burn their last timeout. 1 yard rush, 2:13 left. I understand it is it's 3rd and 2, so you kind of have to guard. The whole playbook is open. They give up another in-breaking route, 13-yard catch to George Pickens. Game's over. And once again, because I feel like us as football fans, we close our eyes, and when we think of the Chiefs and Mahomes, we think of that early success where it's genuinely like the
Mhm.
light show, where they are the number one offense damn near every single year with their version of the triplets, and everything seems to be wide open at every single juncture. In the last 3 years iteration of this team, they've been a defensive team, and
Yeah.
this defense, for once again, they're top 10 in points per game, rushing yards allowed, offensive touchdowns allowed, but they're 26th in sacks. And that's a problem because if you give these upper echelon quarterbacks, or the teams that they're chasing, they have well above average quarterbacks. If you give them time, They're gonna look like Dak yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what the Lions were giving Jordan Love all day to and
I,
according to the
mm-hmm.
Lions front office, when they were asked about addressing the defensive line, oh, we're good. Okay, so
I don't even
you're
I don't even remember
I think
if y'all sacked Love or not.
so I don't think so. The Lions, I think, are top 10 in QB pressures and
Mm-hmm.
like bottom 5 in sacks. Like it's like such a stupid stat. Um,
Not to be that, Mr. Stat Corrector. You guys are actually top 10 in sacks. Y'all are ninth with 32 sacks.
it, they're
It
they're
doesn't
not.
seem like it.
Yeah, we're not good in the defensive line. But anyway,
Yeah.
so um, I was gonna ask you because you watch way more football than I do.
Okay.
There was a touchdown catch by Travis Kelce yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't even know if they showed the celebration before they zoomed to the suites, showing. I think they showed Mahomes' wife.
Yeah, they
I don't
showed
think
Mahomes'
Taylor.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Taylor was there. But does every team or do the majority of teams, or is it just the Chiefs like zoom in their suites after a touchdown like that? I mean, it was almost immediate, and they were there. They did it for like a quick second, and it was like as if it was like, oh, we went to shoot Taylor. She's not there. Get back on the field. But it was, I think, Brittany Mahomes or whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know Dallas shows Jerry a lot.
But
After a touchdown.
he's the face of their franchise. Like, close your eyes,
Right.
think of the Dallas Cowboys. You don't think of a player, you think of the
Yeah,
star, and you think of Jerry Jones.
exactly. But like, I don't think insert team Jacksonville. I
They're
don't think
not
they
they're
stood
not
to the
showing Trevor
crowd.
Lawrence's wife.
No.
They're not showing Travis Hunter's suite or whoever's suite. No, they're not.
Like, how many teams do that? I mean, the only two I can think of are the Chiefs and the Cowboys because they always show Jerry and they always show either Taylor or Mahomes' girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? Like, because they'll once in a while show like Eminem, but it's like,
Or they'll do like
they
a celebrity
they
cam
don't
of like, oh,
do
here.
it like immediately after a score.
Yeah, they'll do it more often than not. When you see it, it's coming out of a TV timeout or a timeout where they had to go to commercial break. They'll pan to, oh, there's Eminem or 50 Cent or insert celebrity, and they're at
Right,
the game or in their own suite or whatever the case may be. It
right.
it almost amazes me as to how instantaneous after a touchdown, straight to the suite,
Yep.
which
And I
is
want to know,
insane.
like I said, if you'll know this more than I do, but like, are there outside of those two teams, are there other teams that do that shit, or is it just them?
They will do that. They won't do it live. They'll do it like more often than not after a touchdown scored. They'll kick the PAT, then they'll go to commercial for the most part.
Hmm.
Some More often than not. And right before they go to commercial, they'll either, if it's a not a big game per se, but sometimes they'll show a replay of the touchdown, the replay of the celebration, or they'll show a replay of so and so's family if it's like, oh, he scored his first career NFL touchdown,
Right.
or if it's a big player in a big time game. Like, if you want to, from a marketing perspective, outside of a Super Bowl, yesterday's game between the Chiefs and the Cowboys, that had the makings. I haven't checked the ratings, but they haven't. It had the makings of possibly one of the most viewed games ever. You have Mahomes, the modern day dynasty, and America's team, Dak, Jerry, Dallas. You have all of these. Even though the records say otherwise,
Hmm.
you have these massive monumental teams, franchises, and organizations, and it amazed me as to how the right when Travis Kelce scored, because I don't know if that was a clip you saw or if you were watching the game at that point, but yeah, that was a fourth and goal touchdown. So like that was
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
I was watching it live.
yeah,
At that point.
it's a massive swing of momentum if they don't get
Mhm.
it. and for that to be a massive moment, as opposed to zooming in on like the players where you'll have your camera guys behind the end zone that'll run in, so you might catch a hot mic or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for touchdown, pan, go back, it's like
See, so
I'm
I
just
kind
not
of
a
want to
fan
do
of
something
that.
for this show, dude. Like when we should have like a second camera set up, and whenever me and you make like an awesome point, you just pan to one of our girlfriends, right? And then they're like, yeah, Bobby did it, Lawson did it,
Right,
you
or
know.
it's just maybe one
Cheers and
day,
take a shot, do something.
maybe one day when we're in studio we can do that.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Cool.
but I was gonna say
Mark it on the list.
they could be chilling on the side in like a lounge or something like that, and then it's kind of like a suite, and
Yeah.
then the camera just pans to them, then back over to us.
There we go.
Hey,
There we
ideas,
go.
ideas.
Ideas.
Yeah, but
Um,
I think that the Chiefs are kind of done.
yeah.
Like I
So
thought they were done entering the Colts game with a loss. I thought the nail would have been in the coffin, and it took a Herculean performance. But with this,
do
it's
you think the
tough.
Ravens are done too?
Their performance last night. Okay, you said I watch a lot more football than you, and that may be true. I'm not often shocked. Last night's performance shocked me. The
Mm-hmm.
the Bengals defense has been bottom everything for the majority of the year, and they forced 5 turnovers on Lamar. Just from a head-to-head perspective,
Oh, wow.
huh?
Yeah, I don't know any of the stats either. I just saw the score. Like I was like, all right, well, I wonder
Yeah.
what happened here. I'm glad I didn't waste my time watching it. Um,
So here's where it gets real funny because Lamar hit Isaiah Likely for like hold on. I'm actually gonna look up because so Cincinnati got the ball first, drove all the way down the field, kicked field goal. Ravens get the ball, 20 worked their way down, 28-yard touchdown by Derrick Henry, and then the I said Ravens. Then the Bengals get the ball, punt. Um, Ravens get the ball, 3 plays, fumble, and then Bengals go for it on 4th and 2, trying to maximize possessions. Don't get it. Then they trade punts back and forth, but then the Bengals cut it to a 1 point game with a field goal, and Lamar hits Isaiah Likely for a 43-yard catch, and they get to the goal line, and he didn't even have to reach, and he reached, punch out, touchback. And I want to get your thoughts on the rule because I know a lot of people that fucking hate that rule. If an offensive player fumbles and it goes out of the back of the end zone, how it's a touchback. I personally I have no issues with the rule. If there have been lives, legacies, millions of dollars, and yeah, lives, legacies, millions of dollars, livelihoods, jobs are invested in that ball. If you're
mhm.
going to take the maximum risk of reaching out where your security on the ball is less, if you fumble out of the back of the end zone, I love how the rule is now. Keep it exactly how it is. Lose possession immediately. I don't wanna give it to them back like some people yesterday on the internet were like, oh, they should have it just restart the drive at the 20. I'm like, well, you are, what's the word I want to use? You're not handicapping the defense, but okay, so instead of having the ball 1st and goal at like the 3, you're just gonna re-give them the ball the whole way back. What if they're on a 13, 14 play drive and we're fucking gassed?
Right.
So now you get to kind of redo your possession. No, it's not a mulligan.
Well, yeah. Right. So you were gonna ask me my opinion on it.
Yeah,
What's the alternative? What would you
that's
do
that's
outside of
my
that?
thing.
It like so you look at this rule and like yeah, you might hate it, but like again, you can't replay the down, right? You can maybe have a loss of down, but still that it still gives the advantage to the offense, which the let's face it, the entire NFL is offensive advantage.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, the the thing at the 20, like say if they were at like the 5 and that happened or whatever and reset at the 20, the only thing that would be alternate, and it's like this would be a backyard football at
Oh,
this
not
point.
the red zone. The opposite 20.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
restart the entire. But once again, if it's an 18 play drive,
yeah,
I'm fucking gassing
yeah,
my
exactly.
my
And then,
my D line needs oxygen. Like,
so get this scenario. So get this scenario.
yep,
Like, your versus Kansas City in not this year's Kansas City. Your versus Mahomes peak Super Bowl,
light
15 and
show.
2,
Yeah,
whatever. You can't give Mahomes the ball with 15 seconds left, or you're gonna lose,
mm-hmm.
or at least he's gonna tie the game. You're versus him, and um your strategy is to keep him off the field as much as possible. You get to the goal line and you fumble in the back of the end zone, and then you get your ball back at the 20. So you wasted all that time and then get to do another drive that can last anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes and
Yeah,
continue to you could have Patrick Mahomes off the field for an hour. Like, it's like
mm-hmm.
that makes no sense at all. I was thinking,
Like the red
reversely,
zone.
put it back yeah, put it back at the red zone and you get one play.
One
You get
play
one
is interesting.
you
I
get
mean,
one play to score. And you can either kick a field goal or you can chuck it into the end zone.
that's really interesting because I feel like once
But
again
again,
a
at that
lot
point,
of
you're playing backyard football.
right. I and
You
people.
just froze on my
So I was
screen
like,
for like 3 seconds, like that.
so yeah, I feel like a lot of people like they don't like things, but they don't give us like, okay, well, what would you do? Oh, I don't know, I just don't
Right.
like that, and I'm like,
Right.
okay,
If you come,
dingus,
if you
give
yeah,
me a
if you
rule.
come up with a solution, I will listen to you. If you're just like, well, I don't like how they can throw the ball. I don't like how they can forward pass the ball. You're like, what? Well, then what would you do besides it? Oh, I just like when teams run. Oh, so you love Army versus Navy? Yeah,
I'm curious, have you ever watched an Army Navy game?
I have, because I bet the under almost every year.
That is the ugliest, like, that is the ugliest brand of football I've ever seen in my life.
When
But
when linemen when linemen aren't even 200 pounds, yeah, it's great,
dude,
great football.
it's so funny because their quarterback will have like two. I think there was a game earlier this year where Army, shit you not, had 70 rushing attempts, and their
Yeah,
quarterback had like 40 of them, and I'm like, I want you,
yeah.
I want you on the front lines in my Army. You're damn right I do. Um,
Oh yeah.
no,
But yeah, so
yeah.
the fumble in the back of the end zone, dude. I think they should just keep it.
Hmm.
Because, like, again, what's the alternative? And like, you're not going to reward the offense because it's essentially, okay, you fumbled, no one recovered, so why should it go back to if it goes out of bounds on the whatever, that's fine. But the end zone's sacred ground, man. Like
Right.
if the end zone was around Halloween time and the Sanderson sisters were out, they wouldn't be able to stand on hallowed ground of the football field,
Literally,
right?
literally.
So, that it's sacred. The end zones, you got to protect them, and if the ball goes out of bounds, like, it's got to go to the defense. That's got to be. It's like, it's like when basketball teams do like a full court press and they trap somebody in the corner and they use the sideline as a defender. The sidelines are supposed to be somewhat of a defender. So
Right, and you'll see that often too. In I know back in the day, they had the force out rule where you couldn't force receivers out of bounds, but now a lot of DBs, especially in the era now that ever since they took out the force out rule, where if it's one on one down the field, I'm finna use you as an offensive player cannot go out of bounds. So I'm going
yeah.
to do as much as I can to not interfere with you and keep you out of bound. Keep
Hmm.
and force you towards the sideline. But to go back to the game and then after that play, the they as in um it's so funny because like I'm reading the play-by-play and I'm rewatching the game in my head where it's like, okay, so after that they trade punts and then the first play of a drive, the Ravens fumble again that set up a 12-7 lead for Cincinnati going into halftime. And then Ravens go 3 and out. Bengals tag on a touchdown, so it's 19-7. And
I'm just
then
glad, not to interrupt you, but I'm just glad I did not see this because when it's 19-7, I would have been putting money on the Ravens
Ravens.
money line and
I'm tr- I'm
not being happy by the end of the night. So I'm
I
glad I did not pay attention to any of
hmm
this.
I don't remember exactly in the game. Oh, here we go. Right after they made it 9-7, because I couldn't remember exactly where this was in the game, but I just found it. After the Bengals made it 9-7, um, Lamar incompletion, then a pickup of 30 to Isaiah Likely, and then they score a 50. Where were they on the field? They were on the 36. They were on from a viewer's perspective, it looked like a 50-plus yard touchdown. Lamar throws a dime to Zay Flowers in the end zone, and here's the play that I'm talking about where it got ruled one thing, and then about 10, 15 minutes later, they came back and said it was the opposite. They said Zay Flowers pushed off. There wasn't there in the replay. There was an extension of the elbow, but Zay Flowers already had him beat by 3-4 yards. So
Hmm.
when me and my buddies are watching, I'm like, I wouldn't have called that. He already had him beat. Yes, I know the one of the things that officials look for is a what do you do that gives a decisive advantage, and more often than not, it's an extension in the elbow. So
Yeah.
when Zay pushed off ever so slightly, they called it back, and then Mike Pereira or whoever's the head of officiating, or whoever's the rules analyst slash expert for NBC,
Hmm.
came in about 10-15 minutes later and said, "Oh, I think that was a bad call," and I'm like, "Of course you did,
Yeah.
of
Right.
course you did." And then
Right.
in the second half, like after the Bengals made it 19-7, the closest it got after that was 19-14,
Hmm.
and then it was a disaster class by the Ravens offense, and even then, down 15 in the fourth quarter with about 5 minutes left, they're already burning their timeouts. Cincinnati works their way all the way inside the red zone, and then the Ravens force a fumble, and then about 3-4 plays later, Lamar hits Zay Flowers for a gain of, like, I don't know, 4, maybe 7, and then he fumbles the ball, and it's just like it's gonna be really hard to win games when you turn the ball over 5 times. But
Yeah.
doing that against a team that you have historically dominated, I think that it was very eye popping. And one non Ravens point with Joe Burrow being back, they guess how many times they let. Okay, he threw the ball 46 times in the game, which is a lot for someone coming off of a toe injury in his first game back. Guess how many of those were in the first half?
Out of 46,
Yes,
um, 12.
32 times in the first half.
All right. Well, then I thought he maybe threw it more in the second.
That that's the most any player has thrown any amount of passes in the first half all year long. Like, they're like, you know what, we're about to test this toe.
Yeah.
And from the first play, I think they ran like a naked bootleg or something like that. And I'm like, oh, so they really finna. And there were a lot of times where it looked like Joe, not that he was ever the most mobile guy, but he still had his
Mhm.
mobility. He had full confidence in his toe from rolling left, right, X, Y, Z, all that, and then some. But once again, that's a great win for the Bengals. That's a disastrous loss for the Ravens, and it's a great loss for my Steelers because we are somehow, after not doing nothing, still in first place after losing the first place lead in the AFC North for 1 week.
Whatever. Dude, the AFC North sucks. So
Eh,
don't be proud of that.
I gotta
Anyway,
one last thing because I do see the time, and I think I saw what you're about to do. Who the fuck's coming out of the AFC? Cause
the
let's
Browns.
shut the hell up. I'm being for real. So, like, in the AFC, 10-2 Patriots. I don't know, super young team, kind of don't trust them. Broncos, Bo Nix could be good. I don't. He hasn't been the same since his rookie year. The Colts have Daniel Jones, who I don't know if you saw the report. He has a fractured left fibia, but he's gonna keep playing. So we'll fucking see. The Steelers are the fucking Steelers. They seesaw weeble wobble every fucking week. The chart the Chargers don't have both tackles. The Jags are the Jags. Buffalo.
The Jags.
Yeah, the Jags are the Jags.
The Jags are coming out of it, dude. They're
The
coming out of it.
the Buffalo Bills roster is meh outside of Josh Allen and James Cook, and then the teams chasing. It's like the Texans offense blows. The Chiefs fucking suck. There's something wrong with the Ravens and Lamar. So it's like.
Give the Super Bowl trophy to the Eagles. Anyway, so thank you for joining us here on this Black Friday at the Legends Clubhouse. Hopefully you didn't get stomped and trampled over this morning trying to hit those hot deals. We are usually live, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, new time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us for your lunch. Take your break at work. Get some entertainment in your life. Go to New Leaf News' YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button so you know when we're live. Or if you can't join us for lunch, then check us out. Check our show out after. Go over to newleafnews.com/network. Both of them take you to the same great site. One of our writers, Nick, wrote a great article about Thanksgiving and football. So if you just didn't get enough yesterday, check out his article about the history of football on Thanksgiving and a little bit of Thanksgiving delight as well. But we're on 5 different platforms for social media. Go follow us if you got one of them. It's TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook, and Blue Sky. So if you got one of those platforms, go give us a like, give us a follow. We appreciate the support. On Instagram and on X, I am at Bobby Kaboose. That is at Lawson_1226. So you can go check us out on our social medias as well. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully everyone stays safe on Wednesday and Friday. Shout out to my brother. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday to him, my big brother.
Happy birthday, brother Boos.
Yeah, brother Boos is out there. He doesn't celebrate his birthday, but he's out there. So shout out to him. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and we will see you Monday. Lawson, if you want to take us out, I'm all good.
Absolutely. One last quick thing though, because it's funny because we do have a Black Friday game in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, we do. Bears. The Bears.
Are the Bears beating the Eagles in Philly?
No. Hell no.
Okay.
This will be. What's the spread?
7.
Okay, Eagles by 16.
You heard it, Eagles by 16. But once again, for New Leaf News and Legends.
Get right game for the Eagles. This is a get right game for the Eagles.
They better, or it's gonna get real funky in Philly.
Yeah, this is a get right game.
The
Bears haven't beaten anyone good. Remember this.
Yeah.
So lay down the points. Eagles by 16.
It's gonna be so funny when the final score is 32-16 and we come in on Monday like fucking told your ass. Did you lay 15.5? Because I did. Yeah, dude. But once again,
I'm saying 37-21.
Ooh.
It's a get right game.
That would be a massive get right game after blowing a 21-point lead last week to Dallas. But for New Leaf News and the Legends Clubhouse, I am Lawson Turner, and that right there through my camera, his camera, and into his room is Bobby Kaboose. We'll see you beautiful people Monday afternoon at 12:30 p.m.
Eastern what, 95?
95.
Who's your favorite 95?
Lightning McQueen.
Who?
From Cars, Lightning McQueen.
You fucking 2000s.
Dude, I could think of a 95 off my head.
95. NBA Live 95. I think it was the first NBA Live. So NBA Live 95 is my favorite 95. But anyway, we'll see you guys on Monday.
We will see. Hold on.
96.
Best 95s in sports. Really quick, because I'm genuinely curious. Like, who's like all-time? I don't want Air Max 95s. I want. Okay, Richard Dent. Charles Haley wore 95. I thought he was 90. Yeah. Oh, Miles Garrett. That dude fucking blows. Nah, he's once again as a Steelers and TJ Watt
That's
fan, this year, bro's been insane. But once again, to wrap up, I'm Lawson Turner. That is Biokus. We will see you, beautiful people, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope you enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you guys Monday. Until next time,
December
peace.
1st. Hey, December 1st.
December 1st, the first of the last
First day
month.
of 25 days of Christmas.
The
Let's go.
the the first of the last month of the Big 2-5. But once again,
Yep.
we'll see you guys Monday afternoon. Until next time, peace.